Sorry. So welcome everybody. I go by the name of Motivo Silencio. Welcome to Poor Magazine, to Homefulness for those who go who first time in, coming to here to this place. We're Sala Comunitaria. This is the community newsroom, and this is where we gather as a community to speak about what's happening in our communities, in our lives, in our struggles, and also bringing our sister. And I know, I have my other sisters gonna bring in a proper way, our sister Laure, who I know, is here with us too, in her own way, in her own spirit, a powerful, compañera from Poor Magazine that I know we're gonna miss greatly, and who she was and what she brought to Poor Magazine as a person, and just as an activist, as part of our family, as part of our lives. So just quickly, for those who don't know what Poor Magazine is, it's a poor people live. This is Poor Magazine. You're looking at it right now. It's all of us. We're also the Homefulness Project. It's basically people who came from poverty and struggle, and little by little, we had joined forces to build this, to build Poor Magazine, to build Homefulness Project, and with the help of Mama D, Kim Boucher, Uncle Al, and many people, and our own ancestors. They have carried us. They actually has carried us to be here in this room right now. And so it's hard, because right next, after me passing the mic, it will be usually passing the mic to Laure and to Leroy to speak about homefulness. So I know we're gonna miss, and man, well, I'm gonna share some words later on about my sister Laure, but I'm gonna pass the mic to Leroy.
Oh, yeah. Hard. Okay, homefulness is support people into the homelessness. And it came by a lot of teaching on the Poor Magazine about redistributing wealth from the wealthy to the people that's been here since day one. And Poor Magazine has been teaching a lot of people that are well to do that. And because of that teaching, and especially timing, we got this land and took it off of the real estate, and we blessed it first before seeing what you see now, the buildings and all. And homefulness is only, a platform that could travel around the world. So, yeah.
Okay, so for anyone listening out there in digital streets, tonight's newsroom is dedicated to our sister, Mama Warrior, and we're going to talk more about her and how we all knew her. But I just want to say again, what is newsroom, right? So newsroom is for people's space to make news. You're looking at the editorial board. Corporate media and independent media continues to perpetrate the lies that we can't speak for ourselves, and continues to make media do studies, do research about us without us. And like I say, no matter how many times you study me, incarcerate me, or sweep me, it doesn't give me a home. So this is us taking this channel back, and that's what we've been doing since 1996. Ain't nothing new, ain't nothing. We continue like the ants and all the other warriors, the four-leggeds who cross Mama Earth every day. This Americlan, this United Snakes, it ain't gonna stop us. It never has. And even when we get these infiltrators and these people, COINTELPROs, that try to take us down, we walking in truth always. So that said, this newsroom is a sacred space, and we always talk about it as Indigenous Peoples Newsmaking Circle, because we do everything in a circle. We make decisions in a circle, we pray in a circle, we take care of Mother Earth in a circle, and we at Poor Magazine, construct and build in a circle. So Homefulness, as we always say, was built with a story, and is built on all of these beautiful folk stories. So this newsroom is where we actually decide what goes out on our media channels, our radio channels, our newspaper, which I'm going to show in a second, and we decide as a group. So even if it's your first time, guess what? You're making a decision. You're raising your hand. You're being involved in the process. Ain't no wizard behind the camera. Ain't nobody behind a wall. Ain't no people who are philanthropimps and grant pimps and corporate pimps that we are answering to. It's each other, interdependently, walking and talking. That's realness with no polites and no politrictors involved. And that's a very hard thing to do, because as poor folks coming out of this colonizer trauma, we hurt each other all the time. And so we are walking in that truth too. And ourselves. And ourselves. So that to say that this is how, before I say that, if people don't know our many channels, there's the YouTube channel, Poor News Network. If you haven't already subscribed, those digital street clicks and hits and likes and schmikes matter. So we on Instascam, we on YouTube, we on Facecrack, we on Twitter, you name it. We on a digital street. But this, kind of because our ghetto scholars, we're like in the doorways of the digital street. And, we don't necessarily get all the likes and the loves, right? But we still there. We still there. We ain't going anywhere. We don't have it any space we got. Any street you can give us. So what? They're all stolen streets anyway. So that said, that's the Poor News Network YouTube channel. We are also really unbelievably hard on KEXU 96.1 FM. We actually have an FCC license, fam. I don't know how the hell us scholars got that, but we did. And like the ants, we working on it, even though our antenna breaks and our signal breaks, and anybody who's right. And if you don't already know, now you know, because today when we tried to do our broadcast, for those of you listening, it did not actually air. So there's that's how that works. But we also have a SoundCloud, and the podcast will be there. And then we have Poor Magazine Online and Poor Press, because we have a publishing arm. Yeah, we do. What? And we're going to be releasing books from Queen Nandi, from Auntie Frances, from Leroy Moore, from Dee Allen, from Bruce Allison, and the big, fat, fabulous Poverty Scholarship, the Poor People's Textbook, where we will let theory, words, art, and tears across Mama Earth. That's coming out, and there it is. There's the flyer for the whole thing, which some of the folks in here haven't even seen. So we'll be passing that around. And last but definitely not least is the Liberation newspaper. It's youth-led, all nations, all generations, and this one just came out, everybody. Nice. Volume 11. And maybe a little bit later in this broadcast, one of our young sister youth scholars who happens to be here, Sister Zion, can give a little hit on what Decolonize is. But we say it's a revolutionary newspaper for the Black Arthur neighborhood and the world. So this time, just came out today, hot off the press. Detaining immigrant children is $1 billion industry. The false borders issue. And yes, in fact, that was written and designed and decided by the youth scholars as their main industry. On the back, a beautiful piece of art by Michael Bazant about our fabulous warriors, Ashe, and shout out to Karina Gold, one of the co-founders of Homefulness, and what they be doing to take back stolen land in West Berkeley. We'll be joining them on the 9th, rolling deep as they take back that 5,000-year-old sacred site in the colonizer title of Berkeley, aka Routine. So this is a beautiful issue. Check it out. I'm going to pass it around. I'll go that way, and any stories appear in these multiple channels, right? So all that to say, what we're going to do is we're going to do our slam bios first, and that's when we introduce ourselves, one line about who we are, where we come from. This is not that moment to talk about maybe what you came to Newsroom to talk about, but just one line about who you are and what's up. And then in that moment, in that slam bio moment, we're going to ask you to lift up how you know our beautiful sister warrior, Laure McElroy. Then we're going to move from that to doing a proper prayer for her. Our sister Juju bringing this beautiful love from Ifa with our plate for ancestors, our water, our smoke, and we'll be talking about that and not not filming her as she's doing it, but filming the altar. It's for Sister Laure. And then we'll go back to newsmaking, because guess what? That's who we are. We're honoring our ancestors. We're walking on this street. We're struggling with resistance and our own trauma, and we're trying to actually be about change, liberation, and realness. And that's what this is about. This is homefulness. So I'm going to pass it to start with my brother Mutiado, just to go, and then we'll come all the way around. Again, talk about who you are. You could drop your slam bio, and then a little bit about how you know Laure, and everybody do that. Then we'll come back to other issues in the room.
Muteado silencio, presente y me alegro. Mis palabras son mis balas, mi lápiz es mi arma. Muteado silencio, my words are my bullets, my pen is my gun. So sit back and relax, cause we're gonna drive by your minds. I'm Muteado silencio. I try and be a poet. I always want to say that I'm a poet by day, a janitor by night, and a radio producer by the morning.
All the jobs. You just added the
And I just hear, man, remember my sister, bring the spirit of my sister Laure, and the spirit of the artist that she was. Like people were saying, the plays that she did about life, and also what Dee was saying, sometimes, the plays that she did were funny and make you laugh. And I think smiling and laughing about sometimes the atrocities that we go through life, is the medicine that keep us going through these struggles. So I want to bring that spirit of my sister Laure and the artist and the theater, the teatrista that she was, that she brought the struggle in the theater.
I'm Bilal Mufundi Ali, identify as a revolutionary African internationalist. They may beat me, they may mistreat me, they may even cheat me, but they will never defeat me. Why? Because I'm too strong, I'm too black, and I'm too strong, and I keep on keeping on. Why? Because I'm too legit to quit, and I don't play that bullshit. As far as Laure, coming back Sunday night from the Russian River, myself, my partner, and a good friend of ours out there in the Russian River kayaking and all that kind of thing was really a great day. The most fun days I've had in a while. I mean, I always have fun days with my partner, don't get me wrong. But in that sense, okay. In that sense. But anyway, so coming back, and we had a process where we couldn't find the keys after our friend got back to her house. So anyway, I happened to look at my phone because I'm getting a lot of messages from a lot of news outlets for news inquiries for the National Prison Strike, in which I'm one of the coordinators. And I saw a thread and it was asking, has anyone seen Laure? And she's been missing for several days. And I'm looking at this, and this is going on in real time. And then it just kept going down, and then Tiny said, we got in the house, and we found her, she's dead. And that whole day, everything just went dark. Just sunk into darkness. And the last few days, myself and I know others also too, we find ourselves in this dark place. But then, again, for me, that's kind of bougie. It's kind of bourgeois. Because I think about Laure, and I thought about Laure, and the only thing, I see this image of Laure, and every time I would see Laure had this big, giant smile on her face. Every time. She had, the smile was larger than a 1956 Buick Roadmaster. OG know what I'm talking about. The grill on one of those things. I don't know if y'all know those cars, but giant. She always had this smile, and I started thinking about that. That smile for me was always like a light, right? And I just kept thinking about the light, and then I started talking about the darkness, right? And then I started coming out of that dark place. because it says that Laurie's light. So we may find ourselves in that dark place, but that light can bring us out of it. And that light that came from Laurie to me and for others, I'm sure, that light can never be diminished. Right? That light is going to lift us out of this dark place, because her light is not going to diminish. And that light is going to bring more light to us and take us out of that dark place. So that's my my ode to Laure.
Peace, everyone. My name is Juju. I am a parent of Zion, and she's a student of the Colonized Academy. She's doing her homework right now. Shout out to Zion, the Rebel Lion. Baby mama, the hood doula. I don't have a slab bio. I need to work on one. Maybe we can have a workshop on that time.
Yeah, we'll get it going.
Laurie, what's her last name?
McElroy.
Laurie McElroy. Elroy. The last memory I have of her is at People's School. Wow, People's School was so deep, for me. But I remember us talking afterwards, and we were just talking about just struggle and like growing up in the struggle and your family members and how we parent and how we treat our children, and the things that we learn and how we're trying to change, and sometimes their family, those changes aren't, they can't see that. But that's I would never imagine that she would not be here in the physical sense with us today. Like I also remember her, like how you remember her, Leal, with just always having like a lightness about her, and just a very like positive person, in spite of the animal that we live under, this society, and so I didn't know Laurie that much. I just knew her in terms of being here in community with the Colonized, but from what I understand, and what I've sensed from her is that she was a great asset here. And I just want to remind everyone that now she's on the other side, and she's going to be fighting for us on that side. She's still our comrade. She is still here. Do not believe this idea of death and people leaving this. That's not real, for me. So uplifting Laurie up and reminding myself and all of us that when good people die, those are the people that we need to propitiate to help us on the other side, because this animal that we live under is not bigger than God.
That's right.
I'm a black cripple. It's hard to do my bio.
Oh.
Been crying for almost 2-3 days now. I met Laurie when I first got in the Poor magazine in the 90s. And me and Laurie bonded with music. Because me and her would talk about hard rock and metal, and it's like, oh my God, a black woman that loves that life for music. So we used to talk about the old days and metal, how the house warmed and everything. And I remember traveling with her, going to the Detroit with the U.S. Social Forum, and she was always in the corner of Poor magazine, always. But schooling people, schooling strangers, and putting us in check when we get out of check. Yeah. I don't miss it.
I just want to say, I'm Baby T on the scene with Poor Magazine, poverty scholar, Don't Sit There, We Want to Hear You Holler. And Super Baby Mama with Ecstasy. That's also AKA Miss Laure McElroy, the Super Baby Mama Welfare Queen. And all my Welfare Queen fellow sisters. We go back to 2006 on Treat Street. First WQ meeting, and there sat Laure in Mama D's little leopard jacket. And I felt the spirit of Mama D resonating from Laure's energy. In San Francisco, in La Mission, my neighborhood where I was born and raised as a small child, third generation, Chicana, San Francisco, St. Luke's born, to be able to go into life in the future and not be able to afford to live in the very place I was raised in, third generation. But be connected through my sisters at Poor Magazine and the Welfare Queens, Jimmy Bug, Dharma, Tiny, and most importantly, Laure, as she sat there with her magic in the room, her aura, her energy. And from that day, she really made me feel connected back home to a community that seemed like it just blew away in the wind like a feather in the clouds in the sky over the ocean and the moving clouds over La Mission. And me and Laure, we go way back. I was looking through my Facebook. I found so many pictures of all of us together in those pictures going way back. It's like 12 years. And it's like my family is so disconnected, discombobulated, and mutilated from this capitalist society that, you know, people don't even know how to be family half the time. So when I came through poor, I was embraced like family. And that was real. And Laure always been there, always come through. And there were times when we didn't agree on things. And we had our little thing going on too from time to time. But at the end of the day, we looked at each other and we realized we really loved each other. And that was true. And I remember when we did that poetry gig, Queen Nandi, you were there at the one place, Makeout Room, whatever that weird place was on 16th, some gentrified looking Tinseltown ass bar. We performed, D, you were there, yeah, and we performed, yes, kind of, but you know, I'm telling you, that night, Laure did a performance that was so magical in a most prolific way. The poem that she did and the way that she executed that was beyond all things. The best, and I truly mean it's the best poet's performance I ever experienced or witnessed. And I ain't just saying this because of all things. I am saying this because, and I told it a lot. I says, Laure, you made me cry in that audience. Queen Nandi, you was feeling it too. We were standing there and we were both just completely blown out. You remember, Tiny? And I just said to Laure, I says, you were magic. And Laure looks at me, she goes, you know, I always wanted to be like you. I go, be like me. I want to be like you. I says, what you did was just beyond all things that move the world and move what we do in this movement on social justice that's all about us and we and us and thee. And when we went to Atlanta, when we went to Detroit, it was just pure magic. All the things we did, all the walks we did in La Mission when we were on 16th and Cap, all the things that we did all the way back to Market Street was beautiful. And you know, I found my little poor press pass yesterday, and it had Laure's picture on it, mine and yours. And it's too soon, Laure. We love you. We love you, sister. We miss you. And I was very honored to have performed with you last Saturday in People's School. Love you, miss you.
¿Y quieres decir algo de Laure? ¿Tú quieres decir algo de Laure? ¿Unas palabras?
En español está bien, sí, está bien, sobre claro.
Bueno, yo la siento mucho en mi corazón
So I feel, you know,
porque
my heart,
la sentí ser mi amiga.
because, you know, we became
Varias
friends.
veces fue a comer allá, se sonreía.
She would come and eat
Y a
sometimes
la
in the
noche
front,
yo la veo cuando se sentaba a comer.
and I would just see her sometimes.
Y la sentí bien humilde, bien como
She was also really
una
humble,
amiga.
a good friend.
Y esto que le pasó,
And this that
a mí
happened,
me duele mi corazón y la siento mucho.
and it hurts and I feel it.
You guys make sure it doesn't run into them. Yeah, movement and art, movement and music is my art. And I'm gonna keep the bio real short. My name is Aldo, and I work here for a magazine teaching drumming, music, craniosacral, etc., etc. Laure, she was a very fascinating artist, individual. She was one of these beautiful souls that existed in the Bay Area. She kind of represented that freedom, free love, free-spirited, revolutionary, black, artistic, open-minded, good-hearted individual. And when, I found out about Laure passing away, that night when I came back, because I drove Mute and Tiny over to the house, I didn't go sleep. I went to go do my running. And then after I'd done, I sat with myself and I, talked to Spirit and just asked, like, how can, or why, and how can this beautiful person leave like nothing, like all of the sudden, and just leave us, right? And what does it mean? What is the message for us as well, right? On the spirit realm. And it's kind of like what people are echoing here is that her light was really big. And there's really no too much psychoanalysis or getting too deep about it, but it's to use that light for us to move forward with our light, for us to move forward with our goals, for us to move forward with our projects, and take that energy and not take that experience, that seed that she gave to each and every one of us for granted. To Laure, thank you, and God bless her spirit.
I'm Dee, and I'm a resident of Hopefuls. And I first met Laure McElroy as far back as 2006, around the same time that me, Vivian, and Quinandi came into the group around the same time. And this was a beautiful soul that I've sat at many a community newsroom, traveled cross country with, even as far out as to Detroit for another United States social forum. Seen her do her thing with the Welfare Queens at the Brava Theater. But her best role, above all that was mentioned here tonight, is that of a single mother. She did the best she could to raise her only son, Evander, from a boy to a man. And I'm kind of wondering how Evander must be taking this right now. His mother being gone. It's like 1 week she's here to do people school with everybody, and putting on one of those one-of-a-kind satirical little plays that she puts on. Notice that whenever she did People School, she did a different play each time, just to keep things interesting. Never the same one twice. Each one covered a different facet of poverty in the USA. Last week she was here, and this week she's not. And I'm still trying to wrap my head around all that. All I'm trying to say is I'm gonna miss out on one of the best, most hard-working and prolific comrades that Poe magazine has ever had. And I'll probably never meet another beautiful soul, another gentle, calm, humble, and eloquent, highly intelligent person like Laure McElroy, aka Ecstasy, was. Ashe.
So I'm new to this space, and humbled to be new in this moment of collective grief for this being who's clearly so powerful, so special. So I don't want to take up any more space than this, really. I will share just a little bit, which is to say that I know I'm in the exact right place right now, on so many levels. Yeah, I'm excited to listen, to learn, and to deepen in relationship with all of you. And my name is Zion as well, actually. I live a few doors down from Juju and Zion. And I come through invitation from Lucy and Daisy, and from Tiny. And so we're working on a bunch of projects that I'm really excited to share with you all, to collaborate, and to build. So, yeah, peace.
Peace, y'all. I'm Lucy. So honored, grateful to be here. I'm a juicer of juice, taking down this monster machine of capitalism. Thank you, Tiny, for teaching me that word. We barely met right now, but I already am learning. Yeah, just so grateful and honored to be here, and so sorry for y'all's loss. I didn't know Laure, but God bless her soul, and grateful for all the work that she's done. Grateful to be here in the presence of y'all in her memory. Thank you.
Wow. Story of my life, story of our lives, huh? Pain, death, despair, revolution. Well, all I can say is that I'm gonna miss Laure. I'm gonna miss her a lot. And we would be out here, and she said she going to the city. Said I ain't gonna let my sister get on a train every time I'll be out here, and I'm going to the city, you coming with me, because it's not safe, just took care of each other like that. And we talked about a lot of stuff, and she was calm, and she didn't bring no drama. She loved Poor magazine. She helped keeping the structure up, not to help tear it down. That's why this blow is so devastating. I mean, I really had to ask the parents, you know what I'm saying? Why her? Why you didn't take my dolphin-ass cousin who robbed me? I'm sorry, but I said it. Why her? Why this fucking demon that's doing dope? But it goes back to what my mother used to say. Evil has longevity. So that gives me the comfort that knowing that the parents must be prepared. They must be getting ready to do something hella deep because they keep taking our best warrior, our divine parents too. Quit not saying mama. That's why she mad and you get these hurricanes and all that, because you're not saying mama, just like you're saying father. You know what I'm saying? They're planning something to make all this wrong on this earth right, because they got the most best beautiful angels, the most best beautiful people are being called on, you know, and that just goes to show we need to spend time with each other too, because a lot of us revolutionaries, we do good work, but at the end of the day, we all be in isolation. Especially people like me, Junebug, Laure, Vivian, you know, we all in San Francisco. That's why me and Laure was connecting. Let's go swimming. And we kept missing the dates because either I'll be sick or, you know, and then say, okay, fuck it, we going to see the Black Klansman. When I didn't hear nothing, you know, Thursday I started tripping because I can feel when that devil's around, y'all. Just so y'all know, I can feel it. Oh, yeah. When I hear that rattle, I heard it, but I just underestimate my own powers. That's because it'd be like, nah, I'm just tripping, nah. No, pay attention to your instinct. But me and Laure was rapping a little bit yesterday, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know, we gotta do something for you, right? And she was like, well, you do the hook and then get the girls together for one day and then we gotta put something together. We can either do the remix of the mama poem, but she said she was good with the hook. I said I only got strength enough to do the hook right now, Laure, because I'm devastated. I was catatonic. I've been ever since, you know. But y'all, Tiny, Vivian, y'all welfare queens, we gotta write something to this hook right here. She liked this. It was like, as I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, welfare queen to my last breath. God is giving skills while the world try to shell us more tighter than them good fellas. And seeing that's how I'm gonna start the song off with that Goodfellas piano, and I'm gonna do a praise dance. She said it was cool, but she said she wants somebody to wear boots. That's probably you, Tiny.
You already know it's her.
But I think it'll be beautiful. I felt her spirit all around, getting on that side, like, yeah, y'all do that song for me. Don't be fucking crying too long. You know how she was the shitty one. She was the one that cheered you, like, girl, don't be crying for me too long, girl. Y'all better do me a song, girl. And that's what I was feeling, and I had to come off that shell. I said, I'm gonna do the hook, but Tiny gotta help me with the rest, cause it's just.
All right, let's do this.
But I'm gonna miss you, Laure, and be our guardian angel. That's all I can say. If you ain't here in the body, you there in the presence and the spirit, so that means you still be our guardian angel.
She was here.
And watch your son, watch over Evander, cause that was Mama's boy right there. Watch over Evander, still be with us, and tell our ancestors we said hi. And I ain't saying bye, I'm just saying see you later, comrade. Peace.
Yes.
Hard to follow Kwanan. I'm Laure Guzman, and I'm a supporter of Poor Magazine and Hopefulness because I stand for the self-determination of poor people. And today I want to honor Laure. I probably know Laure the longest than everybody who's here. I met her in '96 in the city, and she was a baby. She was a baby who just got diagnosed with HIV, and I helped her with her SSI. And I think that everybody has said so many true things about Laure, but one thing that stands out for me is how gentle and strong she was at the same time. And throughout the decades that I met her, and then the privilege of meeting her back through Poor, she went through all the ups and downs, always mama to her son. I remember Tiny with Tibu. I remember Laure with her baby everywhere. And then she went back to school. She got a job. I mean, in spite of all the struggles, she kept going. That's how strong that girl was. And always with that gentleness, that gentle giant. And I think people have said she was brilliant, she was so current. I love her fucking sense of humor. Yeah, she's great. She was hardworking, and she also was not just a teacher, she was a student, she was always helping others. I was, like everyone else here, struck on Friday, but I do feel like everybody else is saying is that she's forever in our heart, forever guiding us, guiding Poor family, and guiding the world, really. Her loss is a loss to the world, and also for us again, because she's in our hearts forever.
I'm Rebecca. Rebecca Ruiz. I've known Laure for about 10 years. we met kind of like doing activist stuff, but also I think we formally met. We worked at a transitional housing facility for youth, a lot of like queer youth, youth of color who had been homeless on the streets of San Francisco for a long time. I think that that's one of the really big commonalities and really big parts of Laure was this really rich history of public service action, kind of like direct service action, and like looking that as like a part of radical change. The last time I spoke with her was here after our meeting here for the radio. We were hanging out after, and we were in my car talking about like getting reconnected and hanging out more. Yeah, I was supposed to go to the movies on Friday too, or she invited me on Friday, and you know, on Facebook you could tell if someone has seen your response or not. I'd responded, she'd see it, and I didn't, you know, think a lot of it. And I didn't until like we found out. But even then, it just feels like there was always this part of which Laure was like very positive, or he was like she thought it could be really silly, but there's always something stirring, you know, this like really rich depthness to her. There's always a lot going on under there. And like there was a part of me that kind of, I think that was or maybe I was projecting, I don't know, but it was like I think a barrier to why we hadn't, why it took us a long time to kind of, you know, become friends. And I just really feel like I wish I missed that opportunity of us hanging out more. And I'm just so saddened. Like I feel like she brought a lot to every space she was in. A lot of like critical thought, a lot of like gregarious fun. Yeah, it's a lot of like it. I'll really miss her.
My name is Diallo from Berkeley, the one they didn't shoot 27 times. Flip to thoughts about Laure on the digital divide on this KEXU mission. But I really started, I feel, this legacy and this walk through life with Laure. I met her around on Telegraph Avenue at 14. That's the only thing I can say is, this is how we chill from 86 till. I'll see you on the flip side, sister, because it's been too long of a ride, and I know there's more out there than just this. So I'll keep the fight strong for you. It's been a long ride, and I have to say, that's all I gotta say. Happy trails, and I know it's a peaceful place you reside in. And the funny thing is, me being on these digital divide, I would have loved a little human contact in these crazy worlds, because I might have known when a friend left, and it might not have been her choice to reveal everything to me, but we'll see you soon. I'll show you.
I didn't know the sister, but I'm honored to hear about her. That's for sure. Because, I mean, anytime a revolutionary died, that's big news. Because it's one thing to be this type of person that we are, being blessed by the one and only God that created us all as we are, because He's a God of justice. And He's going to bless us to get our point across, for sure. And to hear about this sister here, I'm honored to hear about her, but just as honored as I am to be here in this meeting tonight. This is my first time being over here, you know? But her spirit is the revolutionary, as with all of us. Our spirit just leaves us around. Our body just carry the message. We carry the message of revolution. That's right. You know, to the needy and to those that need justice. It's all about justice. That's what this is about. I did a lot of time. I'm raised up here in Oakland. This is my hometown. I'm over in Frisco now. That's where I met Tiny. That's where I met Poe magazine that when I first started advocating, I'm advocating and organizing. And it got to the point where all the Poe folks were struggling so very hard to get their point across. We struggle hard. I was talking to a brother named Jazzy one time, and Jazzy was an advocate for.
I knew that sister.
Yeah. And so what she did was she told me one day, me and Jazzy was talking. We was living in the same building. And she said, you know something about people like us? We can't help what we do, but we always find the steepest mountain to climb. You know? And that rang so true with me. Because this is a steep mountain that we climbing. You know what I'm saying? That's why we need each other so much. Somebody was talking about a while ago, you know what I'm saying? We don't spend time together enough together and all that. You know what I'm saying? For sure enough, sure we don't, because that's where our strength is and that's where our revolutionary goodness is in one another. You know what I'm saying? See? And God appreciates that. Let me tell y'all, Almighty God appreciates those that struggles and fights for justice because He's the justice. You know what I'm saying? And He's the one that fuels us, keeps our souls and our spirits, you know, on fire. Because we on fire out here. You know what I'm saying? And it's always on fire.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When I first met Poor Magazine, and I was struggling trying to make a name for myself, I ended up making too much of a name for myself.
Yeah, you did.
You know? Yeah, I did. You know what I'm saying? Didn't have no money. A little organization. We had a little organization. We was all homeless when we started. We didn't have no money. We didn't have no office. We didn't have nothing. You know what I'm saying? We had 7 of us, and we ended up being nationally known. Talking about justice. At that particular time, it was for old folks and people with disabilities, poor.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I met Tiny, and I had a conversation with Tiny one time, and she woke me up to some shit that I was asleep on. You know what I'm saying? And it made. Yeah, she do. And when I showed up on the scene, you know what I'm saying? I'm guilty of thinking I'm got more sense than everybody. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking more than everybody, and I'm raising more hell than everybody. And you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking that inside, but I'm trying to be humble as I can on the outside. You know what I'm saying? I talked to me and Tiny had a talk one day, and goddamn, you know what I'm saying? My advocacy took off like a freight train. You know what I'm saying? Because then I found my way right there with that conversation. That's what we do to each other.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm so honored to be over here with y'all today. I've been out the mix for about 6 years now. You know what I'm saying? I put 6 years into fighting for homeless seniors and people with disabilities, and I got tired of politics. I got tired of all that shit that got on my nerve. You know what I'm saying? And then plus, you know, all our little group, which half of us had died anyway, well, there were 3 of us left. You know, and we put in so much work, and we got so many things did. But I mean, I had to leave that shit for a minute. They just got on my damn nerve. I'm tired of politics. I'm tired of all this shit that's going on, just like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? And I was talking to Tanya the other day about my next move that I want to get involved in is put together a poor people's party.
Right. We're gonna come back for sure.
Yeah.
But we will.
And
before we close, that'll be it.
it's all good. And again, I'm honored to be here.
Oh.
You know, because this is revolutionary front here. Thank y'all very much.
My bad. I'll tell you want it.
She wanted that. Here, I think I'm.
Zion wants to.
Oh, Zion, please. Yeah. Wait a sec. I'm completely stuck in this thing. Hold on, Zion. There we go. All right, babe.
My name is Zion. I'm from the Colonizer Academy.
Whoop, whoop. You go. You scholar in the house.
What's up?
I didn't know Laure, but I knew every time she went in space, she did bring very good vibes. I just want to say rest in peace. and I was looking forward to get to know her better, but yeah, you know what happened. So I just want to say we miss you, and rest in peace.
We are the poverty scholars. That houseless mama, that houseless daughter. We are the poverty scholars. All the people you don't want to see, never want to be. Look away from me. What you gonna do? Arrest me? We're in your city. We are the poverty scholars, and I usually rock my jailhouse attire because me and my poor mama, Laure and her poor mama, were arrested on these streets for just being homeless in this stolen land drama. Yeah, we are the poverty scholars. And this one goes out to you, sister, because sometimes I don't feel like I can do this without you, babe. Why'd you leave us? But this morning, last night I went to danza, right? And me and Moteado and Tibu and Amir, Tibu and Liquat, and we were bringing the cazador, which is the hunter. And something told me that was the dance for Laure. And we shouted out her name. And it was in that moment that I remembered. For those of you who heard, I found her. It's like I found my ma. And us daughters of mama from trauma. You carrying that on your hand all your life. And you carry it with pride because guess what? That's what we are. That's what makes us. That's what makes us clean and pure. We know what's up. Ain't nobody tell us no motherfucking lies. But we did the cazadora. And I want to give it up to my brother Mood because he rocks that like nobody else. And me and him were right on point. And Tibu. And that was for Laure. And it was in that danza that I remembered that, yeah, I did find her. And yeah, she was cold and in her struggle. But she was on her feet. I want to say that she was on her feet. And for those of you who know Emiliano Zapata, we don't die on our motherfucking knees, fam. Can I get a witness? Right. We die on our feet. Right. So that sister was that strong. You are that strong, sis, that you died on your feet. God knows, I screamed in the middle of the danza, who dies on their feet? Oh, that's right, you do. Because you that bad. You that bad. You that bad. And we know that aloneness. Can I get a witness from my sisters in the room? We know that aloneness. And my brothers. Yes, I got a witness on that. Yes, like Mama Nani said, we on these weird, like self-segregated pods because we dealing with our damage. And like my brother Montiado says, we got 99 problems and housing ain't one of them right now. It's a hopefulness. But we in this trauma that sticks with us like glue. And it just don't come off. And even when we try to, it's still there. And my sister Laure was in that aloneness, in that separation nation. And it was just her and her ma. Eva, Mama Carolyn, for those of you who knew her ma. Right? But ma loves her some Tibu. Loved her some Tibu, just like my mama did. Tibu would run up and out with this little smile. And life would be good for that minute. Living in those elder ghettos and those poor people housing where they had her and all that, right? All that. I just want to lift that up. Like I think Bobby said, we revolutionary transitions. This is a big thing. And this is right. And we're going to hold her up. We're going to lift her up. And thank you, Aldo. I don't know if you're still here, but Aldo, that is right. That's right. You're right. She wants us to do this. I think Moot said it too. I think Leroy said it. She had that beautiful piece. Homefulness is our intention. She wants us to be doing this. This is the work. She loved homefulness. She talked to her brother, and Vern's watching. Hey, Vern, her brother's so beautiful. Love you, Vern. And we're going to be doing a whole ceremony. For those of you who are watching aren't here right now, we're going to be doing a ceremony, planting a tree in the ancestor forest alongside Khalid Rothschild Takur and Jan and Luis Dimitri Gongaro Pat and Torian Dejar Hughes and so many of our ancestors out there. We're going to be and Angela, what's her sister? Erica. So we're going to be bringing her into that space and doing a proper ceremony, probably September 16th. It's a Sunday. Please put that out for the digital streets. We're hearing it. Vern's going to be there. We're going to all be there. He wants to film it for Evander. There's a lot more work and a lot more people to hold because us poor folks, we do hurt each other. And there's that tension and that stress and that stuff, and we're pushing each other all the time. But we don't call 911 on each other because we know that the perpetrator's only going to kill us, test us, and arrest us. Anyway, I just want to thank all of you for being here because this is it. This is it. And we have to keep doing this work because that's what Laure wants. I know that clearly. And I thank you so much. I love you so much in this room. I love you so much. And I want to pass it to my sister Juju, but she's going to do a proper Ifa prayer. Laure was just walking into her Ifa. I want to shout out my priest, Baba Sochi, because she did just get a little close to that. And she said it was the most beautiful day she ever had. And I think it was Yamaya. I think her Baba was Yamaya. Yeah, right, her madrina. That's right. That's right. That's right. So I'm gonna pass it on to Sister Juju, who will do that, and we're gonna only have the camera on the altar. I love you, Laure. I love you. I love you.
I can't hold that.
Okay, let me know. All right.
I'm gonna do this prayer in English. Usually it's done in another language, Yoruba. If you can stand, do you mind standing, please?
Anybody that can stand?
Yeah, if you can't.
I got arthritis. Bless my knee. I'm gonna stand up.
Can I get that lighter?
You know that this fan is something's taking.
I'm gonna light a candle while that's going on the cool head, cool road, cool home, cool words. Homage and respect to the four directions. Homage and respect to the land that's hosts us to the lonely land. Honor and respect to Eshu. Honor and respect to the waters. Honors and respect to the salts, to the seas, to the waters, to Jemoja. Honor and respect to all the Orishas. Honor and respect to our ancestors, Bobo Egun, Bobo Oshun, Yemoja, said Eshu, Ashosi. I want to Bobo to Laure. At this time we should call in our ancestors who don't bring no drama.
Mama D, Uncle Al, Uncle Bill, Chelly says, hey family. Those of you know Chelly.
Hi, Chelly.
Much love to the names that we do not know, to the language that we lost, to the cultures that we lost. To those at the bottom of the sea, Ibaye. Does anyone else want to add more names?
Papa Bear,
Ibaye.
Dr. China Soleil, Betty Thomas, Alfonso Texador, Torian Dejar Hughes, Elder Freeman,
Aris Canada.
To the
Our
one
nurse
says,
coach, Larry Lattimore,
Erika Sada, Ibaye.
Kayla Moore,
cousin David Ruiz.
Kayla Moore, who knew Laure?
Cousin
Hey Maria,
Sharice
if you're still
Renee
watching,
Watkins'
Kayla
house.
Moore, who knew Laure? They're chilling on the streets of Berkeley now.
To other revolutionary fighters who have sacrificed their life and we have lost Ibaye. I want to. The purpose why we're calling all the names, all the elemental forces, is because after you do that, we say a prayer and we have a request. And the request that we have is that, Laure, I hope and I pray and I wish that you are in peace. I hope that you take this offering that we have given you. You are with us. We feed you. We gave you food. We gave you tea. We have given you water. We have the fire and the light and the water. We are calling you into our space. We are calling all our ancestors and all our guardians, all the elements, to continue to uphold the work that we are doing here individually in our lives and as a community at Poor Magazine. We thank you for all the work that you have done. We honor you. We miss you. We love you. We will continue to fight. And we ask that you continue to fight with us on the other side. There's no shade. There's no drama. We still love you. There's nothing that anyone can ever do to ever stop loving Laure. May we continue that peace and that fight amongst one another. May we never forget who we are in this struggle and what we need with one another. One of the things that we need is we need one another. This has taught me that I need to connect more with my family. I need to check in. I need to make sure that they know that I still love them. And we would continue to remember. I ask that we all may lead a healthy, prosperous life, prosperous in the sense of good health, prosper in the sense of good mind, and also prosperous in the sense of continue to follow our legacies and our cultures. That is the way that we resist. That is the way that we heal. This practice for me is a healing way. We live in a society that shames death.
That's right.
And this is just another part of life.
That's right.
It's not disconnected from us. Laure is still with us. She is still with you. All you have to do is light a candle, give her some food, bring her some water,
That's right.
bring some smoke, and honor the earth that she's on and that she's still in. She is still with us. May we will always remember that. May Poor Magazine continue for that her children and their children and our children can continue this legacy of freedom, because we are the ones living the life. We are the models that we need for our own life. And with that, Laure, we honor you. We are grateful for you. I'm eternally humbled to be doing the prayer right now for you. My humble prayer, as I'm very new also on this journey. I'm gonna sing a song and I'm gonna close it out. It's a song for the ancestors. Ekela ewe, ekela ewe o, iku Olódùmarè, ekela ewe o, olódìdé o, ekela ewe. Ekela ewe o, iku Olódùmarè, ekela ewe o, olódìdé o, ogogo, oni ekede, ogogo. Sokutani o imale agoba eni. Are there anything that anyone else wants to say before I close this prayer out? Has anything felt unsaid? Okay.
I would hope these prayers go forward for my sister, comrade Pam Africa, who is now battling cancer now.
And she doesn't have insurance, so they discontinued the medication that she needs. She might have to start the treatments all over again. She's not doing very well at all. So I like these prayers to join and go forward.
Oh, yes. To all our families who need the support and the love and the strength and the healing and the answers to continue to heal themselves. Ashe.
I'm sorry, Ramona.
Ramona.
Ashe.
Ashe.
I just want to say for folks watching, Angel and Vern, her brother, thank you for watching. A shout out to Karina, to First Nations, Lashan Ohlone people. As Laure, we do have some special guests here. We don't have a lot of time, but we're going to make sure that we do get to that. And we do have some special guests, huh? They're already home, but you mean the other boys? Yeah. Yeah. We're gonna Soma and Chemo and Tibu, but don't leave until about 8:40. Yeah. So just I want to start with Brother Bobby because he like he said, we go way back. He's a badass revolutionary. Everything you do, Bobby, and I'm just so blessed you came to Homefulness. And on this night, there's no accidents, right? God isn't making any accidents. God is good. Creator is right. We know what's up. So maybe you could just talk about the inspiration of the Poor People's Party, which sounds like a badass idea for a poor magazine to support. So let's talk about it. Just drop some knowledge, some thoughts, some ideas.
Well, here's what the deal is that right now, the environment in this country right now is change is on the horizon. That's what the whole deal is about now in this country, is about change. The parties, the two-party system ain't never worked, everybody know it. You know what I'm saying? And it's time for another party to come into focus that can get some things done for themselves. That's poor folks. You know what I'm saying? Poor folks in America is exploited every day. The gap between the rich and the poor has got more widespread. It's not gaps anymore, they're gullies now, they're canyons now. It's so easy to become homeless. You know what I'm saying? And even with the homeless thing. The homeless thing, I was listening to the radio one day and I heard a song about Rihanna. And she got my attention. She was singing about poor people. You know what I'm saying? And then while this song that she was doing, she was talking about homelessness. And she said, homelessness is not just a happening that comes. That's the new America. And homelessness is the new America. Because they're not going to fix homelessness. If they fix homelessness, they got to fix the economic structure of this society. And they're not going to do that. They're going to leave it just as it is because that's all they know, and that's them. You see? So homelessness is here to stay. It's not going to be fixed. Not by this people that's here now. You know what I'm saying? So the same thing that go for poor folks. And it's like, I was looking at the news the other day and they were having a strike over there, a hotel strike, and they was walking around with signs talking about one job should be enough. One job should be enough. And it's time now for poor people to come together. We've been traditionally Democrats. Poor people have in this nation. Same way with black folks. Black folks have been traditionally Democrats. You know what I'm saying? As far as the poor folks, well, they've been traditionally Democrats and traditionally forever poor. I ain't heard of one Democrat stand up and declare an end to the poorism, nor have I heard of Democrats stand up and declare an end to racism in this nation. So black folks, traditional voters for them, we still traditional victims of racism in this nation, as is every other person of color. You know what I'm saying? So it's time now for us, when God sent this poor folks party thing through my heart, I was like, hold on right now, hold on with this one. I gotta go see Poe magazine about this. Because if this is gonna, you know what I'm saying, if this is gonna be a reality, this is where this got to start. You know what I'm saying? Poor folks, it's time for them for us to start fighting for our damn selves. Excuse me. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And everybody knows it. I've been talking to certain people about this particular party. And I got cancer. I got prostate cancer. And I'm dealing with it over here at UCSF. So I met some people over there. And when I first started meeting them, I started telling them about my advocacy. And I started talking to them about what they thought about the poor folks party. And they was like, what did you say? You know? And the day when I got there today, it was two of them waiting on me. And they got in there, they said, Bobby, come here, tell them what you was telling us about the poor people's party. And it was another poor person. We are so widespread, you know.
That would be a popping party.
It's going to be.
I mean, is it a real party or like a government party? Sorry.
No, this is going to be a real party.
Okay, then yeah,
You know what I'm saying? You see, yeah, it's going to be popping because it's going to be us declaring this thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And this nation is ready for it. The people in this nation are in dire need of change. The voting system is out of whack. With the elections now is the lowest rating of people voting now. The voting public ain't never been this low. Ain't nobody got ain't nothing to vote on no more.
Ain't nobody got no vote. Right. Ain't nobody believe
You know?
in that shit.
No, everybody's lost track of that there. You know what I'm saying? Since the Democrats can fool around and let Trump sneak in there, you know what I'm saying? All they doing is fighting. So ain't nothing being done nowhere. You know what I'm saying? And homelessness is the new America. And we got to let make people understand that. It's not going away. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not going to fix the economic structure of this society. That's one thing they ain't going to do. They got a 3-tier thing here, the upper class, the middle class, and the lower class. And now they got an underclass. You know what I'm saying? That's the homeless people. They're the underclass. Now everybody frowning on them like it's their fault. It's not their fault. You understand? It's the politicians' fault. It's this nation's fault. And the whole thing as it stands now, you know what I'm saying? It's like so many things that happen to poor folks now. It's just a shame. You know? And so here's what the deal is that talking about a support base. All of these artists that you see, the athletes, all of them, 80% of them used to be poor. Now they got big voices. The rappers got big voices, big money. The athletes got big voices, big money. All of them. And the majority of them are going back to their hoods, reaching at the kids and the poor folks that they left behind. Because these athletes, especially, they got hell a lot of money now. Khalil Mack just signed a contract for $100 and something million the other day for 6 or 7 years. You know what I'm saying? That's our support base because they tired of the way things is going too. You know what I'm saying? They still got relatives that poor that they reaching out to. LeBron James can end up buying a school. He got 250 children over there in his school that they're going to teach them. And that's what we need to start doing, is teaching our kids, because our kids is our future. And if we want our future to be revolutionary, we got to raise them up as revolutionaries. Y'all know what I'm saying? So with the poor people's party, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna reach for them Serena Williams and them and Curry and all of them that have been poor, Snoop, all of them. Reach for them. Put it on their laps. We don't need their money. We just need their voices. You understand? Because we need some influence now. Some collective influence. Not just here in the state of California, but all over this godforsaken country. Because it's time for this place to change now. Trump has showed everybody how crazy it really is. You know what I'm saying? Not just him. It's all of them. It's crazy like that. And you see how they're treating each other now. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it's so easy for them, you know, to live off of poor folks as they doing. They're handling too much money as it is. That's all they do is money over Frisco. They talk about now London just got elected mayor the other day, and now they're spending $300 million a year on homelessness and can't fix the problem, so they asking for some more money.
That's right.
Shit, give me $3 million. I'll fix that shit.
So because, let me just say this, we normally end at 8:30. We had, obviously, there was absolutely no way to do anything as we normally do it. That's how we live in. We poor folks, we move and it's fluid. And this prayer is media, and this prayer is love. Eva, yay, Laure. I just want to say, though, because this is a very big thing, Bobby, and I know that this room, right, these powerful fellow revolutionaries in this room, myself and Leroy alone could go on about this topic for days, and Uncle Bilal as well, and Dee and Juju, right? So that said, in the interest of really giving it a fuller discussion, what I'm wondering is, there's no way we could probably rock this before November. I mean, and that's what you're thinking, but I think it would be kind of crazy if we did. I know that we tried to do the homeless for mayor, and it was too last minute in a lot of ways. We couldn't really galvanize enough. So I would just say, you could come back, we could have a fuller discussion, and make it be the main topic in the next newsroom, which will be a month from today. The other thing, though, is that you and I can keep talking, and now that you presented it, we can also have you come to one of our eloquent councils, and we can talk more deeper about it. I would just like to get a temperature check, because I want to make sure these guys get a little bit to say, and we do got to kind of cut out about 10 minutes, because the kids, because their families, and we do a liberation school here. We teach the next generation of revolutionaries. Not these young people don't have no lies going through their head. I believe that. So I just want to get a temperature check of Bobby's idea with the room without going on in depth. Couple words. Just what are people feeling about it? I know we all got something on his mind about it. You want to say something quick?
Initially on the surface, I can support it, but we need to explore a little more because some of the people you mentioned, Snoop Dogg ain't giving you nothing. He ain't gonna give you no support, nothing. We have to deal with, I'm from LA, but I dealt with all these fools. Okay? Snoop Dogg got good against us. But we can explore it because I'm about that. I'm about that. Poor people and homeless people are going to have to be the agents of any change. No politicians, nobody else. I'm down with that. I'm down with that.
And let's leave it there. Leroy, you want to say quick on it? Yeah, oh God, sorry. Thank you.
I'm just saying that Poor Magazine is doing it now. We're doing it now. The housing school, we're doing it now.
You want to? You want to say temperature check? How's it land on you?
I feel this way about it. Like I'm like, this is let's do it. Maybe no. I feel like I'm like in the middle about it. I agree with Bilal. Like I think like more discussion around it just to make sure our intentions are still at least what Poor Magazine is about,
Gotcha.
But I do see it as the same thing as what you do with redistribution. You're just asking people to use their privilege for something that's,
actually matters.
Right.
Okay. Dee, you want a quick temperature check on it? Your thoughts?
Sounds like another political party. Maybe not. So, as far as my answer goes, undecided.
Okay. Anybody else want to do a temperature check on the Poor People's Party? You gonna wait? Okay, they're gonna wait, but Diallo say something.
Fully for it. I mean, any way we can unionize and bring people together to solve any problems at all levels wouldn't hurt. I mean, as long as it can be a constructive conversation and we can do it peacefully.
You want to say something? Oh, okay. So I just want to say that really quickly. it's a relationship first and foremost, and I love this brother because he's real. He doesn't F around. So I just want to put that out there. If there's anyone else walking in the door, then, you know, my antenna will go up just straight up. No, anything to do with we call politricksters. You already know. And so many tricks, right? You already know. But what I want to say is, like Homeless for Mayor, which some of y'all know we did, me and Bilal and some other cats. The only reason, and so I would just say, backing up off the worry about money, on the real, bloodstained dollars don't have nothing to do with truth. You can use the space of, you know, politrickster, right, to actually rep and speak some realness. And the reason that I love the idea is everyone knows I have no time for politics, right? Absolutely. Think it's a frickin' waste of time. But the only reason to inhabit that space is you do get a platform. And I do, see, my piece is, these fools be saying all day and twice on Sundays, what we gonna do about the homeless problem? And my answer to them is, I am your homeless problem. What, right? And so to me, it's us getting that platform to speak that truth. Speak the truth about homefulness. Not with the idea of trying to win some mess, because I don't want to be knocking shoulders with those fools anyway. But the platform piece, right? To have someone like you or Leroy or myself actually toe-to-toe with these fools, speaking truth, just for the sake of the word, that's some SU stuff, and that's what I'm about anyway. That's my Bible. So I think we conversate about it as a strategy of infiltration. That's where we're at. And we'll talk more. So we can leave that. Everybody with talking more?
Yes.
About it? Okay, beautiful. Can we give a round of applause to Bobby for his badassery? Welcome back to the family. And before we close out, let's make sure these young folk get to talk about this thing that they're doing, because that's kind of part of redistribution. And then we'll talk further and more about that. Here you go. Whichever one of you cats want to speak. And we don't have a lot of time, but we'll give it a bigger discussion.
Yes. Yes. I'm glad the word infiltration came up, because that word, recently I've been feeling like I'm starting to realize why I was born into this body, into this family, my lineage, because I'm an infiltrator. I was born into a lot of privilege, economic privilege. My past is white, even though half of my family is black. And so I can infiltrate spaces. And I've known that for my whole life, that's what I'm here to do. Up to the Bay, I've been out here for a bit over a year and a half, and since coming out, I'm starting to see some really practical ways that this infiltration can really go down. Some pathways are starting to open up for me. So there's a few different projects that specifically right now that are coming to life that are connected to food, increasing access for us to get a lot of good, healthy food into the community. So there's that component. That's what my main focus has been for the past year in East Oakland, just a few doors down from Juju. We've been doing free dinners. We've been getting tons of people donating to us. Now people are starting to donate some money to us. People who have been donating tons of vegetables, connected with a few different organizations that are doing that. And now, a few other portals that are starting to open up in terms of land, access to land, large amounts of land in Northern California. Yeah, I feel like I have more to share than a few minutes on these topics, and definitely really want to drop in very deeply with all of you about this. But I will say that since joining up with Lucy and with Daisy, I feel like a foundation coming together that is very powerful. Essentially a co-op of co-ops that's coming together, that's related to food, it's related to land, it's related to housing, it's related to solar, and it's also related to hemp. And so we've all been kind of weaving these different connections in our own threads for a while, in our own lives for a while, but in coming together, we're starting to see them be able to click into place, and starting to see like really practical opportunities to create some housing solutions, and wanting to plug in with the people who are ready to to lead from the ground up. And so just humbled to be in this space with the folks who are the knowledge holders and the wisdom holders. So yeah, for now it's what I got.
Hey y'all, so I'm Lucy. Like I said, really honored to be here, and there's a lot to talk about, and first off, like, y'all don't know me yet, but I would love to get to know all of you and learn more about your lives. Like Zion said, I also come from a lot of privilege, but I've had some like crazy experiences too. Like my dad is a crack and meth addict, but also like went to Harvard, you know, so it's like this crazy mix, and I'm like, where do I even like fit in, you know? And my partner, formerly a houseless person, and so I have a lot of solidarity with y'all, and I've been, ever since I can remember, like, dedicating my life to the revolution, and that's what I'm about. That's what I want to be here, be of service, and figure out ways we can all plug in, support each other, because like Zion said, we've got this kind of crazy abundance. Like, it's a little bit overwhelming. Like, I literally have like tens of thousands of pounds of chia seeds and like coconut oil, like all these random things that are like coming to me like to redistribute, basically. So it's not just about money, it's about resources too. You know, and we've got access to all this land, like hundreds of acres of land. Like, all these people are like, oh, actually, we don't want to just be sitting on this. We realize we need to share it if we're going to be, like, healthy, happy in our own lives, you know? So, thank God, like, finally some people are starting to wake up, you know? I mean, it's been happening, but yeah, so there are different opportunities and ways we can connect, like, our co-founder, comrade Daisy, couldn't make it tonight. Unfortunately, she had something come up, but I would love to have y'all meet her too. I work with her at Resilient Wellness. It's a holistic health justice clinic in West Oakland, right by MacArthur Maze, and we work primarily with the African American community over there, a lot of houseless folks. So we're looking to basically build different like retreat center spaces out in nature where people, like especially marginalized communities from the urban environment, can come out and experience nature, you know, like where we can have these kinds of conversations too, like outside of the city, because like Tiny was saying, you know, earlier, there's all this trauma like on these streets. It's, I mean, I haven't experienced that personally, but it's real, and like even just walking around, you know, like we all feel it. So I feel like just as humans, we need that ability, that privilege of connecting with the earth in a space like outside of the city lights, all the Wi-Fi, messing with our heads, you know. So that's like one of the ways we would love to contribute. We have access to different spaces where we would love to like host, co-host, co-create liberation schools with y'all. There's possible money flow as well, so I'm working on a grant to the philanthropist right now, but it's actually a really radical grant, so it's like a movement grant.
They wouldn't be full pimps.
they're not full-on pimps, you know, they're actually pretty cool. So yeah, there are just different opportunities, and you know, it's the kind of thing I think we all need to take more time later to talk about, but we just even sitting here today is such an honor, and I would love to come back and get to know y'all better, and figure out how we can support. Thank you so much.
Okay, so we're gonna close out. What I do need to let both of you know, because I think I told Lucy this already. I know that you guys have this abundance because the reality is that these wealth orders and land stealers been stealing shit for a really long motherfucking time. They just feeling the burn right now. Okay? And they feeling the heat. So let's just be real talk about that. And that said, we don't do stuff overnight, and we have to slow it down. And the land stealers and the wealth hoarders need to slow down their guilt giveaway too.
Exactly.
And that don't mean they take it back, because they have to be educated that they need to move in the ways of the people that they're supposedly trying to serve. Okay? So that's real talk. We have a process called People School, where folks with race and class privilege come and unlearn the shit that we've all been taught and relearn the realness. And I really want, because me and Lucy talked about this, for your whole community to come to our next People School. I don't know if we want to be in conversation before that happens. I will be talking to you in email. We'll get some more work done about it, but I have to be leading with that truth on that, because there's another kind of sniggling bullshit piece around we suddenly have, not from you guys, but from the people now making it really accessible. Get off of my fucking hands, because I realize I've been fucking up for a really long time. And so, you know what I mean? So holding that grief too. And there's a lot of us dying on the fucking streets. So there's this realness to needing this stolen land to house folk, and that's real. Healing is real too, don't get me wrong, but there's also, I hear land, I'm like, I got 80 different people I know who need to fucking house, okay, so there's that. And I got that tension, right, which I think you were speaking about, but I think you get it. But I also have to be real with this process, because we've been lied to before. Can I get a witness?
Yes. A witness.
Right?
And just to be clear, like, I went to people's school,
Keep it
and
back,
I ain't
keep
got
it back,
shit.
keep it
Okay, right.
Keep it further back.
Right. So all that to say,
Zoom in.
we will continue to talk. We will figure some stuff out over email. We will get closer, give some pieces so you don't lose the vibe, whatever the moment, right? We can make claim on the guilt giveaway and what. But I want to say that to you, beautiful folk who came here with humility, you sat with Mama Laure, obviously, for whatever reason, she asked you to be here. There's no accident. Laure would love y'all. On all kinds of levels. So, that to say, let's keep this going. Plan January 25th and 6th, y'all are here. 25th and 26th, y'all are here for People School, okay? And then between that time, we will conversate, make work, and happen. Are we good with that, everybody?
Yes.
That makes a lot of sense.
Thank you. And then let's close out with a prayer. We can turn off all the digital streets. We love you. Poor News Network, Community Newsroom. Give a round of applause to our